Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, It's All About the Barbecue Blackstone and Beer Network proudly presents to you another edition of Thursday Night Barbecue Chat. I'm your host, Steve Crass. I am the grill department manager over at Wanamaker's in lovely, beautiful Downers Grove, Illinois, and the man sitting next to me, as always on Thursday night, the chairman of the board, the Barbecue Blackstone and Beer Group, Mr. Ryan Hoagland.
Dun, dun, dun.
We need like a cheering thing app or something. It doesn't work the same when you do it.
Well, I tried.
Yeah.
It's Thursday night. Griddles and Biddles with Nick and Jay are already in here with us.
They're excited. They're excited because it is Thursday night barbecue chat. And tonight, Ryan, we have a local barbecue champion, backyard division, good friend, former good customer, because he now shops up north there, which is wise because he's way, way up there.
Is it Weez or is it Weez?
Well, it is. It's both. It's a wise Weez.
It is a wise Weez. So, yeah. I mean, we might as well pop the background in there and
Bring
him up to the stage.
There he is.
Ryan Weez. Welcome to the show, sir.
What's going on, guys? Good. How you guys doing?
Great.
You're looking happy and jovial today, Weez.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Your face. You called him out as a former customer before he even got on the stage.
When Weez came to Weez lives far away from Wanamaker's. When he came quite often. He spent lots of money and he was a good ambassador and he promoted the store and this and that. But now he's up there with the 301 boys, and it's only common sense to why would you drive all the way like an hour when you can go right next door almost.
And there were several times I came home with my Forerunner. You couldn't put anything else in there, man. Remember we got that Weber grill in there with what was it, 35 bags of charcoal.
Yeah, we got just the whole pallet of charcoal in there. Yeah, that was kind of a fun game. Yeah, yeah. Well, he's a great former customer. He still comes in. It's not as often, but he doesn't have to. So it's a good thing. Jesus, look at Griddles and Dickie's on the ambassador. Look at Griddles and Vittles already.
So Steve there when he showed up? I don't know.
Yes, I was there. I was there more
20
often.
minutes earlier. You might have got to see Steve, but see how that goes. So, Weez, for the people that don't officially know you on here, sorry.
Go ahead. You can steal my question. You can steal my question again, Ryan, if you want.
October 14th Grill Battle's already over, Jeff. Let's see who's back.
I love that Jeff's back.
Yes. Anyways, Weez, for the people that don't know you, why don't you give everybody a little rundown about who you are, what you do, how much you shop at 301.
I practically own the place. You know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah. See, so why would you go to Wanamaker's when you practically own a place? Because he's got a demo coming up. I saw that.
Yeah. So I started. What was last year? Was my third year competing in the KCBS doing backyard. Before that, I'd probably only been grilling about 4 years so far. I kind of took up doing that a little before COVID, and I used to play drums in a blues band. And once COVID hit, obviously that prevented a lot of that kind of stuff. So I started cooking and then become pretty obsessed with it. Ran into SI2 Barbecue on a Facebook page and went with him to a competition. Met the barbecue boss. Drove around with them for about a year, learned a bunch of stuff, met a bunch of people, and then I started competing and started cooking just about everything I could get my hands on. And now I'm an official, barbecue caterer at my LLC, and I had to get legal so I could actually do events. Plus my wife wasn't excited with the idea of the health department breaking down the door and coming in and yelling at me for catering out of the house, and I had a lot of events that were passing me by because I could not get a health permit. So I kind of went and got all that taken care of about 4 or 5 months ago, and now we're doing a little bit of everything. So that's kind of a little bit about me.
They just passed up on good barbecue, so that's their own problem.
They just passed up on good barbecue. Yeah.
That's how I feel.
So how many competitions a year were you doing, Weez? Are
My
you still
first-
growing your competition count, or are you cutting back?
I've already cut back. My first year I did 9. That doesn't include, obviously, I traveled a few places with Barbecue Bus. I went to the Roy with them, Jack Daniels World Championship. Went to Tennessee. I don't know, a few other places. So if you want to add those in there, and then last year, 2022, I did 20. I think I did 23 or 24 events. Did about 20,000 miles. My 4Runner, and I think last year I only did 11 or 12. But I kind of focused more on, doing the catering and, the for sure money, and obviously after the 2022 season, when I'd go to a competition, and if I didn't win first place, I would be booking a competition before I got home, and I would never even ask my wife's permission, not permission, but basically talk it over with her. I would just come home and tell her I was leaving the next weekend. So by the end of that season, when I got back from the KCBS World Invitational, she said we need to have a talk. So I kind of told her I would slow down, and I think last year I only really cooked events where I had really wanted to go cook with my buddies, whether it's Josh Hess from Hess Hogs, Ryan Kane from Damn Pie Beef and Swine, something local, Westmont, bringing home the bacon, things like that. But I didn't travel near as much last year. So, and then this year, like I said, I don't know what I do, 11 or 12, but I already started. I went down to Georgia, was it last month, and cooked there. And then I'm going to be in Georgia. I think I'm going to go to Sip and Swine the first weekend of March. Then I got Nashville 2 weekends later. And then, I don't know, a whole slew of things coming up.
Well, I know it was down in Eureka a couple years ago. You kicked our ass in backyard there. That you did.
Well, that was.
Shut up, Steve.
Man.
Just let it go, Steve.
Was that the competition you were dead ass last, or because then a lot of people kicked your ass?
No, actually, I don't think I've ever hit DAL. Thank you very much.
Oh.
Yeah, I like when the guys that like to drink show up to competitions. It's easy.
Well, there was a couple bottles of bourbon that weekend, but it's all right. Yes. Drinking and barbecue is like hand in hand, right? You just kind of, talk and cook. And
You didn't have your sticker facing out when you did that.
I did. It's right here.
I know, but you can't really see it when you're sipping. You got to turn it more to the side. Yeah.
Gosh.
I got the.
Sorry,
I
let me go like this. I'll turn sideways.
I got the L&M barbecue. I still got.
There you go.
I still got the L&M
Can't go wrong with
coaster.
that.
Still got the L&M coaster. It's getting a little frayed on the top, but.
Speaking of
that
the L&M koozie there, we want to say, thank you to you and everybody else that got together and got all the money together and all the prizes and did the raffles. Great thing everybody did up there for that. So that was good stuff.
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
It was, anybody that knew Mike knew he was a little rough around the edges. He'd tell you what he thought, but he was also the same guy that would do anything for you and, try to help out. So it was, obviously I know we were all kind of hoping for a bigger event, but obviously that was not in the cards. So at least we were able to do something. I know you guys did something over at Blackstone. Actually, my buddy Jamie is the one that won the Blackstone. So
yes.
I
haven't seen any pictures of that. I'd like to sit and talk to him.
Yeah, but it was a good thing. I was glad to help Lisa out. Like I said, it's barbecue family. That's kind of, I think that's one thing. If you ask a bunch of people, it's barbecue family is unlike anything else. When I got into this, I told people I never felt like I fit into any one certain group. I just kind of, I've been a truck driver most of my life, so I've been a loner most, just driving by myself. And when I kind of met barbecue people, it was just different. It was almost like an automatic, entry into the family. And now it's, like I said, it's, so when that happened with Mike, obviously that's the least all of us could do for him,
Well, you're not just an accomplished truck driver, and because I still want to see it, because I just want to see you behind the drums, but you're quite an accomplished drummer from what I'm told.
No, and I mean, I played in a band. I don't know how great I was. I mean, we played a bunch of blues shows and used to play around Chicago and did some pretty, decent sized festivals. But, like I said, I was never a phenomenal drummer. That's why blues was great, because I could just sit back there and just,
make your own thing.
Yeah, just sit back there and just keep the beat. You know what I mean? They didn't expect me to do any fills or any that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, that's I can't play them at all. So that's, to me, you're an accomplished drummer because you can actually play something.
Yeah. No, it was good. Like I said, COVID kind of put an end to that. We were scheduled to go play a gig up in Green Bay, and I think we were supposed to play about 2 days before they shut everything down. And the guy I used to play in the band with just, didn't want a chance at anything. Obviously, Illinois was kind of, shutting things down before Wisconsin was. So that was kind of it. And I think I've seen him once in 4 years, and his guitar is still sitting against the wall over there with his aunt where he left it. So he'll text me on occasion and say, "Hey, we should jam again." I'm like, "Well, your stuff's still sitting here. So whenever you want to come over and play, at some point I'm going to sell it and put that money down on a smoker with your stuff."
Working behind the scenes here.
Ryan's working behind the scenes. What do you cook on, Weez? I mean, what kind of smokers do you is your smoker of choice?
So I usually when I compete, I will
hold that thought.
There it is. I was trying to get the drums.
There you go.
Quickest one I could find right now. That's a smoker. That's what he cooks on. He built a smoker out of a drum set.
Absolutely, man.
Sorry, Weez, go ahead.
That was a trick drum kit, and they're made right in Buffalo Grove, Illinois, by Mr. Mike Dorfman. So if there's any drummers on here, that's a Guitar Center out in Algonquin, but the manufacturer is out of Buffalo Grove there. So there you go. See, staying local. So I cook on drum smokers. So from drumming to drums. I run 2 gateways for competitions. At home, I got 2 Weber Smoky Mountains that I really like to use. But obviously, if I get a lot of orders, I'll run the gateways on them. The gateways usually run a lot faster than the Weber Smoky Mountains. But that's those are the 4 smokers I have. I do have a old PK that I got from Scotty Johnson. That I don't know how old the thing is, but use that. Well, I mean, that I got grill grates from you. Back when I used to shop at Wanamaker's. So I had all my buddies get grill grates from you.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you
Which
did.
when people ask me for grill grates, I send them to you because we don't carry them at our store. So that's one of the few. That's one of the, I would say, like Weber's and things like that. Those are the few things we don't carry that. We always refer them down to you guys if they're looking for that kind of stuff. So
why don't you carry the grill grate? Is it just a demographic thing, or is it just a vendor thing?
I think I don't know. I would say a lot of it's the demographic thing, because we had the PKs, and that. I mean, PKs just, we won't go into all the details with what PK does online, but there was kind of, we became a showroom for them. I mean, I think you kind of had the same
Right.
issue,
Right.
So, and I've tried to push, grill grates for things like that. I mean, we could have them for the Smoking Brother pellet grills that we carry, but I think sometimes the grill grates, unless people see what they can do, and how awesome they are, people don't take a second look at them. You know what I mean? But then the first time they have a steak off there or a pork chop, or you flip them over and make some burgers or anything like that, it's just like anything. Someone sees a barbecue seasoning and they just hear barbecue seasoning. They don't think about, you can use it on seafood. You can use it on mashed potatoes. You can, people, it's
Right.
Sometimes you got to pull that creativity out of them and let them see what these products can do besides just, barbecue, So.
with the or you gotta do some. Go ahead, go
I'm
do
just
some.
gonna catch up a little bit.
Yeah, we gotta catch up a little bit.
So that was a fun first griddle battle competition at the Central Illinois Barbecue Throwdown. And then Jeff, fellow trucker there, says us truckers don't get enough recognition. Got Ronnie Smith, how we doing there, sir? And that's really about all I missed there. But and then Jeff says, "Good evening."
Good evening, Steve. Of course he does. I miss Jeff. It's not the same without having my favorite heckler in the audience
in the chat. But
yeah. Yeah, now you made me forget what I was going to ask, Brian.
Well,
so now you're going to have to ask a question because now
doesn't take much.
Take
so Weez, I know. I guess we got the logo here. Weez's Groovin Barbecue. I'm guessing that's coming from the band background, or is there something more with that?
Well, yeah. Groovin is just my love for music. I'm a huge love reggae music. I love any kind of, I would say, chill music. When I'm cooking and stuff like that. I'm not I like to relax when I cook. I don't want to listen to Slayer when I'm cooking steaks. But and Weez is just, 95 when I was a sophomore in high school. My brother's friends, they all had nicknames. Like my brother's nickname is Roach, short for cockroach. There was Troll. There was two brothers. They called him Orange and Tangerine. There was a guy named Rat. There was a guy named Rat that we hung out with, and they just nicknamed me Weez, short for Weasel, because anybody that knows me, I talk a million miles a minute and weasel my way into anything. So they call me Weez, and that's, you figure what, almost 30 years later. I've met people that don't even know my first name is Brian. They just know Weez. They don't. So that's kind of where that's. So when I was coming up with a kind of a barbecue name, I was tossing ideas around, and obviously a couple of my buddies said, well, if you call it anything besides Weez, no one's going to know it's you. So I went with the Weez's Groovin Barbecue. So
sweet.
That's nice. I didn't know the whole story behind it, so
I didn't know either.
For the longest time, I think until we became friends on Facebook, I was like, I thought your last name was Weez. But yeah,
I'm good with it being. I thought that's what it was too. I'm good with it.
Yeah.
I don't have a nickname, so anyway, well, unless that at least that I know of.
You do, but we just don't tell you.
Yeah, like I said, at least that I know. Jeff's got a good.
I'll text it to you.
I think our good buddy called me a nickname once that.
Oh, yeah, our buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
So on another note,
he gave me a nickname.
Jeff wants to know, what's your favorite thing to put on the smoker?
Probably what I got on there right now. Brisket. I love brisket, man. It's, a lot of people find it hard to cook, and I would say I've been lucky that I've never messed one up bad enough that I couldn't eat it. Now, obviously, I've made a couple of choice briskets that after you cook a prime or a Wagyu or an Angus, obviously that's kind of, you start getting into the texture thing, and it doesn't mean it's a bad brisket. You're just kind of used to what you what you're used to. So I love smoking briskets, man. It's the kind of a lot of people order briskets for me, which is awesome, but that's probably the least profitable meat that we cook, but that's all right. Brisket brings them back to order, my sides and anything else, like I'm working on a few this weekend. I got 7-8 buddies coming over. I'm working on some pork belly burn-in sliders, a couple different recipes, and working on a Korean style pork belly, burn-in, things like that. So it's kind of, people stop over and pick up a brisket, and I send them home with a bunch of stuff I've practiced cooking. So sometimes they'll call me and want those, whether it's a pecan pie egg roll I make, or I messed around one time and I made a brisket elotes cream cheese egg roll, and now I have people wanting me to make those. So it's kind of I just started, as I say, started sticking stuff in an egg roll. And
can we back up to this pecan pie egg roll?
Yeah,
maybe.
I need to hear a little bit more about this.
Maybe Weez's house needs to become a barbecue love stop.
Hey man, in the summer, if you guys want to come up, man. I got I'll do a pig. You guys come up, I'll do a whole pig out front, and
Wow.
We'll do a whole thing, man.
We'll do a Weez Groovin barbecue love stop. Yeah.
There you go, man. No, it was funny. It was in Morris. It was anything bacon. So I did I made my pecan pie filling and then put it in an egg roll and deep fried it. And then on top of it, I put some Godiva chocolate, a little bit of powdered sugar, and bacon. And I don't know where I finished, but I know the guy that won was on my table, and that was in June. I did a rib burn in October, and a gentleman walked up to me and said, "I've been meaning to talk to you, Weez." He's like, "You were on my table for anything bacon." And he's like, I don't remember who won, but he was just like, he's like, "I don't know how that beat yours." He's like, "I just didn't know whose that was." And then he was at some other comp and he mentioned it to somebody about the pecan pie egg rolls. And they said, "Oh, that was Weez's." I think Schmack told him that. So this guy found me at the rib burn to tell me how good they were. So, and that's all it was, man. It was just basically a pecan pie filling and a egg roll and put some topping on it. And, send it as I think there's pictures somewhere on my Facebook of it. So, but yeah, that was that, man.
I'll have to dig through there. Are you doing any of the early ones? I know have they been advertising the frozen bones? I don't know if that's a pro one or not.
Yeah, that weekend I will be down. If I go, I'll be in Sip and Swine.
Okay.
So, yeah, and I know that me and Barbecue Mike are throwing around the idea of cooking a double pro together. So down in Missouri. So we're looking at doing that. And so this year I'm going to try to do a few different things. I'm hoping to get down to Texas at some point and cook one of the CBA events down there. Me and Josh Hess from Hess Hogs are looking at doing MBN, something just change it up, change up just doing the regular 2 meats or even a 4 meat. You know what I mean? It's kind of, the idea of cooking a whole pork shoulder sounds pretty cool. We were down in smoking on the Osage back in July, and Brad Laniger from Getting Basted came into my buddy Bourbon and Blues. He came into the trailer and did there was about a half-hour class, but about a half-hour private class of a whole breaking down a whole pork shoulder, and what they did at Memphis in May when they won and stuff like that. So it's kind of a really cool, Brad, to do that. So just doing stuff like that to change up, cooking the same stuff all the time,
Agreed.
I'm scrolling through your page right now trying to find these egg rolls.
Yeah, that would have been back. That would have been back in June. So,
you gotta scroll a lot because there's tons of pictures of some famous little young Weez that's on there doing tons of different things on there, which is a cool kid. I do enjoy the pictures of.
We did talk about this before the show a little bit, that he was upset when he got dropped off the cooking class and Dad was not allowed to go in with him.
Yeah, so, I don't know who was more upset, him or me, because my wife made us matching aprons. So I brought the aprons with us, and I'm thinking we're going to be in a kitchen, and I obviously knew they weren't going to do anything complicated because it's but then we just went into the park district into a room, and they're just like, yeah, parents aren't allowed, it's a drop off. And there was a couple of us that just kind of looked at each other like, we're just dropping 4-year-olds off here to So when I looked at him, I said, "Do you want to stay here, buddy?" He's like, "No, you stay." And I was like, "Well, no, I got to leave. You want to stay here and cook?" And he said, "Well, no, you brought the aprons. You have to stay." And it was almost like I looked at the lady. I said, "Well, if we don't stay, we're going to get a refund." And he went the one time, and that was it. And now it was a 4-week class, and yeah, he just has no interest in doing it, I guess, without me. So it's kind of sparked my thoughts of putting together a few classes up here at my commercial kitchen. So I'm working on a few of those, and at some point to do a few all ages, come and cook with your dad, mom, or whatever, working on a few barbecue classes as well, some stuff coming up for next year. So
nice. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Like a son and daughter, a parent cooking thing. I think that's a good idea. That's a cool idea.
Yep.
Kind of get them started out there young, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at Ryan. He started so late. Look at the stuff he throws out there.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
Terrible. Today was Italian sausage. What did you cook on the griddle today? I saw it flash up on my.
We did the Italian. I did a little Italian sausage, just cooked it up and then sliced it and seared it a little bit more on the Blackstone, and then did a vodka penne pasta. It's going into the
Nice.
the dinner winner tonight, so I'll try to enter
Oh,
back in. It's been a while.
Pre getting votes. I kind of like campaigning, Ryan. Very nice.
Yeah, if you guys are around on It's All About the Barbecue page, go check out the dinner winner and give me a vote. Just click a link.
It's actually not on the page. It's in the group. It's all about the barbecue and more group. Right?
Yeah, I gotta use my griddle more. I do not have a Blackstone. I mean, that was
Sorry.
but I wish I had a Blackstone, because the one I have I cannot leave outside because it doesn't have a cover and it gets rusty, so it has to stay in my garage. So a lot of times
Well, I will say the Blackstones can get rusty too if you don't use them enough. So I mean, that's just pretty much with any griddle. But like me, I got to use my smoker that I have from the Weber Smokefire EX4 that was graciously given me at Wanamaker's in Downers Grove. So if you haven't checked them out in Downers Grove, make sure you go check them out. That's my little plug.
We say it's on loan, Ryan. We don't say it was given. It's on loan.
Oh, it's on loan. Sorry, it's on loan.
And he wonders why I stopped shopping there.
See what you've created now, Ryan. Now there's going to be millions of people wanting to know why they didn't. Maybe that's why our friend doesn't talk to us anymore, because you keep saying that you were given something and he never got anything.
Is this our chain friend?
No, this is the
Tight shirt.
real tight shirt guy.
But he always wears a chain.
Oh, I don't never noticed. I couldn't see it.
Triple S.
Triple S.
Is that what the
We got to be nice. Be nice. We're trying to stay above the fray. Above the fray.
Oh, okay.
Be more mature.
Yes. Yeah. Griddles and Vittles said they got to find something to put on the dinner winner tonight.
Yeah. Well, yeah, especially if Ryan's going to actually compete for once. He finds the slowest night of the week, and that's when he throws a dinner up there. Oh, Jeff Nichols had a comment that had something to do with the
But it's not the first place fried apple cheesecake taco.
yeah, that was in reference to the Weez's pecan pie.
So once you pull up my first place, perfect pecan pie cheesecake in there.
I've seen. I was looking for the pecan.
I think that's got 3 perfect scores.
Yeah, I don't know, Jeff. You might be out of the battle on this one.
Stick to picking on me, Jeff, because it's a little bit easier to pick on me than it is.
Yes, it was a first place apple cheesecake taco, which I actually just made those down at Tischler's for the cooking class down there, and everybody did love them. So,
isn't it cool how when you come up with ideas like that, and it's just like people, like, it's not complicated, but people think it's the coolest thing in the world, man.
Oh yes, it's. I'll tell you what though, to try to get, because I was using the taco rack to crisp up the tortillas and kind of shape them, and trying to do that for 26 people. I had these little warming racks above that I was like, oh, I'll just put them on here and fold them over. Yeah, that didn't work out so well. So it's a lot harder cooking for 25 people at one time than people think it is.
Yeah.
Trying to get everything, especially now we're getting into the cold weather. So we're going to see how January, February, March go for these cooking classes. But it's fun. It's a learning curve for me, and we'll get it done. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yes, your cheesecake, pecan pie cheesecake, was all over the place when I was looking for the egg rolls, and I'm like, okay, I think I need some of that as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Grab this here real quick.
What's going on? Are you grabbing a picture?
Yes.
He's grabbing something.
Oh, whoa!
Wow, it's moving all over. Wascally little rabbit.
It's hard to hold the magnifying glass and work the computer here at the same time.
Can I ask a question? Are you gonna get the picture sometime today, or are we gonna? There it is.
What there?
Ooh, look at that. Even Scott,
Yeah, that was
it's gorgeous.
That was at the famous Dave's cook-off that I cooked at in Lombard with my buddies. Great Pig in the Sky from Minnesota.
That's I can just all right.
That's gorgeous. That just looks good. Is that part of your catering menu?
It can be for the right price.
For the right price, anything's apart for the right price.
The problem with cheesecakes, I mean, obviously, if you go to somewhere that makes them in bulk and buys a lot, it's cheaper. But when you're me and you're just making them a couple at a time, that's they get a little on the pricey side. It's just like the pecan pie egg rolls. It doesn't sound like they're going to be expensive, but I mean, egg rolls are, I think, if you get a package of those, they're $6 or $7 up here. I mean, pecans are freaking $15 a bag now. So you start looking at cost. It's like, someone looks at one of those and they think it's $2 or $3. It's like, it's costing me $2 or $3 just to make, some of this stuff,
And it's not only that with like the egg rolls. Like I did a bacon cheeseburger egg roll or something like that one night. Freaking rolling them up is not the easiest thing to do either. Like it's a process and it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, absolutely.
You think just belt flip roll and you're done, and no, it takes about 5 or 6 to get going, and then it's a little easier. But man, it wasn't really easy.
Yeah, so. and if you're, I mean, obviously if you're doing it on the griddle, it's a little different than if you're frying them like me. I mean, you got to pay for the oil now. I mean, that's not cheap, so it's kind of some of this stuff is fun to do, or to turn into like competitions, stuff like that. But it's, to do that on a large scale, it's just not, it's not feasible. I made a jalapeno popper stuffed egg roll for a competition, and I put a sweet Thai sauce over the top of it. So like things like that. I'm learning how to make tamales. So I got some ideas with doing some Jamaican jerk tamales and different things like that, So it's,
yeah.
Right, guy. Ryan, let's pay some bills here. Let's
pay some bills here, guys. If you're not near 301, not near Wanamaker's, guys, if you want to check out the barbecueproshop.com, go check them out online. If you use code CHAT10, get 10% off of any purchase of $10 or more.
But as always, if you're near somewhere local, please shop locally. I know you did. I'm just kind of adding to that.
If you're in Northern Illinois, stop by and see us in Johnsburg at 301 Boys Barbecue Supply. But Jeff, I love Jeff. I just went down and got some apple cherry hob head country from him. So he was nice enough to meet me on a Saturday to let me pick it up. So love Jeff. Love his little shop there. It's kind of, I would say that's the thing. If you look at all our shops in the area, you kind of, if you look at Wanamaker's, you guys kind of, you guys have stuff we don't have. We have stuff you don't have. Jeff has, rubs and sauces. Obviously, neither one of us carry because he's an online place, a lot of comp guys, a lot of that kind of stuff. So that's what's kind of nice is that in reality, like, we're not really competing against each other. If there's things that we may have that you may not have, we'll send them to you. You send them to us. We're sending them to Jeff or, things like that, and that's kind of how, I guess I look at it. As much as I love barbecue, I don't look at, even in competitions, if you think about it, you're not competing against one another. You're competing against the judges because that's who you're trying to get to enjoy your food or like your food or whatever, you know what I mean? So, I just, to me, as much as I love barbecue, I don't really, it's like at work, I train guys how to drive. I don't care if they stay at my company or they leave or whatever. I want them to be a good driver and a safe driver, right? So same thing with barbecue. I don't care where you get your stuff at, just, cook, cook out, enjoy barbecue and enjoy cooking, ask questions, talk to Ryan, talk to you, whatever. There's there's all kinds of people to talk to, Facebook. How many hundreds of, Facebook sites are there where you can go in and ask questions, and the one thing I hate about a lot of the sites is when guys just, rag on other guys for what they're doing, or, you don't use you use a pellet grill and you use a stick burner, or you don't use this. Like, who cares, man? If you cook how you like, Who cares? You know, if someone comes in the store, Steve, if someone came in and told you they boiled ribs, you wouldn't care. You're gonna sell them something to boil the ribs with, whatever. Like I don't like.
To be honest with you, I'd ask them if they had a picture so I could see what they looked like. I agree. You become an admirer of food and just barbecue, and it's just like, okay, I want to see how they turned out. You boiled them, so what? But what do they look like when they were done? What else did you do to them? Did you sauce them? What did you do to it? I want to know what it looks like.
Yeah,
they could be pretty damn good boiled ribs for all I know. I mean,
absolutely.
I've been putting posts out just to like draw up some attention, right? I just posted these crock pot barbecue ribs, you know, just to draw some attention and start, you know, getting the chat going and stuff like that. But it's funny you say that.
Well, it's like the event that me and Barbecue Mike are doing next month. You know, it's kind of to promote, like you can use barbecue sauces and rubs and inject all kind of stuff, but you don't have to fire a smoker up. Like, you know, when I'm going to do basically crock pot tacos with a pork butt, you know, like I said, you don't have to, you know, come in and buy a you know, well, it's the winter time. I guess we're done cooking. No, you can use this for all kinds of stuff. You know, you can take an SPG, you know, whether it's, you know, like a trauma hogs or something like that, or whatever SPG you carry, you know, whatever it is, mix it with some butter, make garlic bread with it, you know, make butter noodles with it, you know, it's things like that. Or look what Paul does, you know, from Smoking Ghost. He just puts it in corn, you know. So
I mean, basically, rubs are basically a glorified seasoned salt. I mean, they're not. I mean, they're the majority of it's salt and sugar. I mean, you can do whatever you want with them. It doesn't have to be. I enjoy putting rubs on popcorn. That's probably my favorite, is to season up popcorn with different rubs.
Did laugh at this one too because it was on TikTok and they were talking about it. But
oh yeah, I saw that one, dude. It looks so good.
Hey, just boil it and put that little stream. Don't even
spread it
sauce around or anything. It's just
that's a KCBS winner.
The best right there is when he points at it and says, "Oh, look, there's a crust right there."
Oh yeah. Yeah, but it's all about having fun and helping each other out. That's what it's about. And that's one thing that we strive on Barbecue Blackstone Brewers. We don't allow negativity. I mean, you want to be negative, go take it somewhere else. I can point you to a bunch of sites. I'll direct you where to go. You know, it's all about
the what?
No, I was just kidding.
Were you going to say somebody else's page that's negative?
No.
Are you an instigator? Are you an instigator, Ryan? Are you an instigator?
So it's all about having a good time and helping each other learn to cook. No, there's no negativity on your page either. But no, there's a lot of pages that are out there, and there's a lot of, you know, we call them the keyboard cowboys, keyboard warriors. That you're not doing it right. That's not what anybody's about here. It's all about learning, and I mean. Look, I mean, I started off going to a cooking class and met everybody here, and it's about growing. And
well, I mean,
you know, don't be negative, but those look like something Steve would make.
Wow, Jeff! God, it's good. God, it's good to have him back. Kind of missed those couple of weeks of silence.
Ryan, with like videos you post, you know, like there's things you make on a Blackstone. I was like, I never even thought about like doing something like that on a griddle, you know, like it's one of those where you know, like I said, you can expand people's horizons on, you know, what you can do with any, you know, I mean, like, you know, so like I said, videos like you put up, like, oh shit, you can do that on a griddle. Cool, man. Let's try that. You know, like, you know, that kind of stuff. You know?
It's like I said, I know I've gotten away from smoking and barbecuing and everything like that a lot more than I have now that I have my griddle. But it's just crazy. You know, look at like Griddles and Vittles when they were down in Eureka and did a Juicy Lucy burger, and they're like, wait, it's a Juicy Lucy burger that was breaded and deep fried.
Ooh.
And everybody's like, where do they deep fry it at? Like, how they don't have, you can't use a deep fryer. I'm like, they didn't. They put a pan on their Blackstone, filled it with oil, and cranked the heat up, and now you have a deep fryer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh,
them guys, they're so creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were talking earlier. said this earlier about the barbecue. Spend thousands to win hundreds in competitions, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah,
Don't get into competitions for the money.
yeah, no. Like I said, I think last year. I mean, I had a lot more fun last year. Not worrying about. Obviously, we all want to win. You all want to hear your name. You want to hear that. But like, I had a lot more fun, and I was more relaxed last year than I was the year before that. Because I'm pretty sure in 2022 I was known as a no fun guy. Like I didn't hang out. I didn't I'd go to bed early. Like it was all business. And then last year I just kind of, obviously I don't drink a whole lot. I don't get hammered like a lot of guys and stuff like that. Because to me, I sleep in a tent. I don't want to be. Well, you slept on the ground, but I just
I did sleep on the ground in a tent too. But
yeah, but like I just
sorry,
and then I think this year I kind of got known as the guy because I would always leave before awards. If I was more than a handful of hours away, for me that was the one thing. When the conversation with my wife is that instead of leaving, I would go to a comp 3 days early just to hang out, and that's kind of one of the things I cut down on. And then this year, if I was, which I'm 4 times this year, I left right up to turn-ins, was gone. Mm-hmm. And they had issues with awards. 3 of those times they were twice they were canceled. And the other time I was home from Minnesota in May by the time they started doing awards, wow. So for someone like me, that's driving 8 hours one way or 7 hours or, even the World Invitational, down in Mayetta, Kansas, I left and drove straight home after awards and got, I think I got home at 11:30 at night or whatever. But, it was kind of to get home earlier to make sure I wasn't missing as much work and stuff like that, So I kind of, I don't know. I felt bad at first, but, there's a lot of big guys that do that, that just, I think awards sometimes are overrated, if it's your first year or 2 or whatever. But for me, I just cook, I have fun. And then when it's time to go, I go,
See, Ryan Miller said that he's done deep frying on the griddle many times, works very well.
Yeah.
I have found out with a half pan though is your best, a lot wider. You can get a lot more oil in it, a little shallower. I don't know what you said, Steve, but they said
I said they were very creative.
Oh yes, they were.
If you remember, because Ryan doesn't care about you. He doesn't pay attention to the comments made about griddles and vittles. It's all about the barbecue, Blackstone, and beer.
And the griddle battle, but
and the griddle battle. That's it. That's the only thing he.
Griddles and Vittles with Nick and Jay. That was the first time ever going to a competition down in Eureka, and getting to meet a lot of the barbecue family that I've already created and met and known. I think they might have enjoyed that part of it even more than the griddle battle itself. And that's definitely what it's all about.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to try to make it out to one of those this year. I know I won't be able to do Eureka because it's the same weekend that my wife's family is having their family reunion, and they've hired me to do all the catering. So it's
nice.
Yeah.
Your family reunion.
My wife told me, she's like, "You can't charge them." I said, "Why can't I?" And she said, I said, "Why would I do it for free?" And she's like, "Because you love doing it." I said, "But I love doing it for money."
Right. Big.
So I called her dad, who owns, he owns a couple big businesses. He does a lot of stuff for Caterpillar. And I said, "Hey," I forgot her aunt had reached out to me about cooking. I said, he's like, "I can't believe she did that." I said, "Well," "I just don't know what to charge." And he went on a rant. Don't you give him no discount. Do not give him a discount. He's like, "Screw that. You charge a full price. You got to get paid, and you got to." I said, "Okay." So I came home. I told her, I said, "Hey," I said, "I can't give you guys a discount." I said, "Your dad told me not to."
Well, but I mean, if you think about it, if you didn't do it, they would be paying somebody else.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then he called me and told me that this will let him know what I'm going to charge and he'll pay it. And I said, "Well, the smoker I'm looking at is about $18,000. So if you want to, pay for that for 40 people, that'd be great."
Yeah. So are you looking to expand your smoker arsenal if you're with the catering thing?
Yeah, I'm looking at picking up a 500-gallon pull behind with a Santa Maria on it and a workstation. So looking at a couple places. There's a place out in California I'm looking at. I know there's a place, obviously a bunch of places down in Texas. But yeah, I mean, at some point, I'm hoping here to do a lot of live on-site cooking and things like that, and kind of, I like doing the pop-ups, but I really think it's cool, when you go out and doing these, this year at my house we did the couple pig roasts, we did a couple 20-pound gators, invited people out, it's kind of like an underground pop-up, I guess. You send the invite out. Yeah, there you go. We so for that event we had, I think I invited about 10 people, said, hey, there's going to be a, tip jar out, tip what you want. I said, we're going to have whole hog, gator, 3 or 4 sides. I said, invite who you want. And my wife and kids went down to Cincinnati for the weekend. So my buddy came up for the weekend. My brother was here. And I think we had about 70 people at my house show up. And my wife called at some point because the ring kept going off out front. And she's like, what's going on? I said, well, we got about 40 people in the kitchen right now watching us break down a gator. So I said,
wow, look at that. Where's that little bubble coming from? Did you see the bubble with the thumb in it? Where did that come from?
We got fireworks last week. We got thumbs up this week. What is going on here? How did
that happen?
I don't know.
That was the last week with the fireworks
2 weeks
when you
in
did
a row. Now I gotta go start doing some research and see.
Yeah, because I mean the fireworks were spectacular.
But yeah, I'm looking to expand. Like I said, I really think that making people part of the cook is, I think that's a lot of the fun, is watching people kind of, eat your food while you're kind of doing that. You know what I mean? So that's not maybe that's what I'm trying to focus on. I don't know yet. I'm kind of over the place right now. I got to figure out a plan and go with it. But so
I still want to do that next year for. I know you and I had talked about it when. Oh, look at my light. That's not my light got excited. Maybe something's haunted, Ryan. I don't know what to tell you. But I know we had talked about when some different things for when we were talking about planning some things for Mike and things were falling. But I think that would be really cool to do a barbecue in the spring, just with the local barbecue family, get them all together, get Lisa together, and do just a good old fashioned family barbecue in memory of Mike, because I think that would be kind of a cool. I think he would have enjoyed that kind of a thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. As I know plans that kind of fell through. I think we all know that, and like catering would have been nice and all that, but I think as far as Mike, I think Mike would have liked all of us just getting around cooking, man. Everybody just hanging out and just kind of, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think we need to find the time in the spring to get together and just have a memorial, I guess. I mean, it doesn't have to be nothing spectacular, but it's just something.
Celebration of life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Just stand around the smoker, watch it smoke, and have some beer and just shoot the crap. You know what I mean? That'd be cool.
Absolutely, man. Throw some stuff on the griddle, too.
Yeah.
Griddles.
Yeah, I'm plugging you there, Ryan.
We'll have to talk more about what we're talking about right before the show started. So I'll reach out to you after this.
It could be a little griddle battle. Maybe we could have a little griddle battle.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I know we are looking at expanding next year too. So if I can get everything going out with griddles, Nick and Jay, we're looking like Whitehall, Michigan. And we'll get a date set.
So there's going to be a KCBS backyard comp up here in Antioch, Illinois on Saturday, September 6th. My buddy Mark helped my buddy Mark put it together. So maybe, it's that's something you think you might want to get in on, Ryan. I can hook you up with him if you want to try to do, because I think we're going to do Friday night rib burn. So you might be able to do something, with the griddle thing, maybe do it during the day on Saturday, a Friday night thing or something like that. Cause he's really trying to bring in, the community, and a lot of the way that he's set up, he's really reached out a lot to me, and I put him in touch with a couple of people in KCBS about setting this up. And I would say, not the right way, but kind of a way that will promote, KCBS teams, to travel to cook here, but also, the local guys that come out and cook, it doesn't alienate them. I said, I think that's really important because, obviously having, someone like KCBS behind you helps promote, it makes it, I wouldn't say legitimate, but you know what I mean? It gives it a name. You're going to get a lot of teams traveling and stuff like that, and the rep we got for it, she's definitely going to be bringing in teams because, she's such a great rep and stuff. But, he's definitely trying to make it for the community. They're going to have, live bands and all kinds of stuff. And it's not, he's not out here to try to make, any money on. He just wants to break even, and he said that, I think that it's going to be $5,000 in prizes is what he's giving out, So, it's, I think trophies to the top 15, you know what I mean? So that's kind of like I told him, I said, if you think about it, like say you get, you guys all been to Westmont, that, if you have a big event like this, you're going to get 10, 15 big KCBS teams to come out. But I told him, I said, if a local team, is ninth in chicken and they get a trophy, they're going to be so excited about that. They're going to want to come back the next year, but if you only call top 5 and no one local gets a call, it's going to be hard to, promote that stuff local. So like I said, we're trying to really get it. So it kind of involves the, local community and stuff like that. Just like, I know down at Westmont, they're trying to do the same thing, keep it where KCBS teams will want to do it, but also keep it local and keep it fun for local teams, so.
Yeah. We looked at Westmont a little bit. I haven't really reached out to anybody there, but no, if you got some numbers and stuff and people or some contacts, we can definitely talk after this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's been just pretty cool. Illinois has lost so many competitions over the last couple of years that I think it'd be great to get another one started. So
he's gonna do backyard this year, and then next year I think the hope is to do both. But I know in September he was working at the second weekend of September, and I said you can't do a pro event that weekend because that's mission 0 100 hours. I said you're not going to get anybody. I said in the week after that, it may be the Royal, it may not be the Royal. I said even if it's not, people aren't going to travel to the week before the Royal. They're not going to spend money to do this and that. So he ended up just going with the first weekend and doing a backyard. But next year he's hoping to do pro. I know Dan down at Westmont really wants to get the pro back, but a lot of that is just room, finding a room down there and the cost and all that kind of stuff like that. That's kind of the hardest thing right now with KCBS is, between backyard and pro, it's a lot easier to put a backyard event on because it's cheaper. We can just show up with a 10 by 10 and cook, where like with the pros, and I've had conversations with, David from Butchers and this and that, like we've all talked about how expensive it is now to cook on the pro side between, generators and, 50 watt amp, and this and that and all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? That's the, even Dan at Westmont talks about how expensive it is just to bring in generators, to run everything. It's so expensive,
Right.
So,
Yeah. It's definitely not cheap. A lot of people don't really, I won't say a lot, but there's some people don't really understand how much goes on behind the scenes to get a competition ready. Just doing the two that I've been a part of is definitely eye-opening to me of how much work goes in.
Yeah.
It's a competition.
Yeah, it's a lot of emails, a lot of questions, a lot of text messages. It's, and then you got to deal with, obviously where you're sending it up at. There's all kinds of stuff that goes in that, It's not just let's have an event, So
Jeff had a good question. Here it is.
When it comes to smoked meat, what would you say your favorite go-to rub is?
Honestly, the thing that I can use on a lot of stuff is my JDQ Sweet. I would say JDQ Sweet. I'm doing a brisket right now, which, I run Smoke and Ghost on that. I run Ghost on steak. A lot of it really depends on the meat. First, like I said, for brisket and steak, you're going to go with some, Heath Riles beef rub and some Ghost pork, salmon, pork chops and stuff. I'm going to run the JDQ on there, So I'll definitely say JDQ, and they carry that at Wanamaker's as well. So
thanks to Brian Weez.
Yeah. Thanks to JDQ. Thanks to JDQ.
I also carry the barbecueproshop.com for 10% off. Use code chat10. of $10.
Well, but yeah, I met Josh down at the Windy City, but I had heard about it before because Weez came in and said you got to carry this stuff, and then I met Josh down at the Windy City. I think last year, not this year, but the season before, and so that just finally made its way in there. So you may see Weez in front of Wanamaker sampling.
Yeah, and the JDQ Heat just won best rub in the world. So give it a shot.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Nick and Jay, yeah.
The cutoff time for the dinner winner is at 9.
It's normally 8:30, but I have found on show nights that it's becoming closer to 9 o'clock because I get done with the show close to around 8, and then Ryan and I sometimes will chat a little bit afterwards, and then you got to decompress from the stress of doing the show and talking to Ryan for an hour, and then you have time to. By the time I realize it, my older mind remembers it's almost 9 o'clock, and it's like, oh crap, I got to do the dinner winner.
Yeah, it ends whenever Ryan wins.
You just got to keep it going until I get
pretty much.
As soon as I have votes, it's over.
Yeah, he's the only one that's said that there needs to be a recount, or he's the only one that's called foul in most of the shenanigans.
Then we got Mr. Roy Rummener in here.
Hey, Roy.
Mr. Roy.
Christmas. I'm sorry, I don't do happy holidays. Just me. See if you have your AARP card. Need to get a discount on the rubs or something.
I'm not a member of AARP. Unfortunately, I have not signed up for that yet. Nowadays, there's so many discounts on everything. I don't even know if you even need AARP.
Yeah, too, but damn.
That is gorgeous. That is absolutely beautiful.
I wanted to check through my pictures, made sure I got everything. I did have the one of you guys down here at the Royal. So
yeah, that was me. It's Josh Hess there. To my right, and then on the left is Robert Jackson, his wife from Swinolicious. So
Swinolicious, I love the name.
World champion backyard rib king right there, Swinolicious. So
nice. Yes. Beautiful. Oh, we're coming up on our hour here. It's been a great show, a lot of great information. We appreciate you coming on. Hang on, did I have one more here? Oh, if you wanted to, I was going to throw this out. I know you got a lot of sponsors and stuff, so I just.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, cool. I thought it was going to be a griddle battle picture. Is what I thought it was.
It's not. Butcher's Barbecue, Heath Riles Barbecue, Smoking Ghost, 301 Boys. Is that Willie's or Wiley's?
Willie's Honey.
Willie's Honey.
Oh, nice.
JDQ, Wichita Packing Company.
Trauma Hogs Barbecue.
Trauma Hogs Barbecue.
Yes,
got some good ones on there. Yeah, definitely got some good ones on there.
Speaking of Butcher's Barbecue, Barbecue Blackstone and Beer is bringing back the photo contest.
Yes,
starting in 2024. Butcher's Barbecue is going to be one of our sponsors one of the months.
Yeah.
Did you check out? I know Weez carries up there. I know the 301 boys carry it. But did you bring in the knives from Butcher's?
We haven't yet.
I think they're actually pretty nice. I think they're pretty nice. You probably have more experience to compare them to other things that you've used, but I thought they were pretty nice, and they're not horribly. They're actually very, very well priced. They're not very expensive, and they're pretty good quality ones. So yeah, I recommend them. I know you don't need my recommendation, but from one retailer to the other.
I was on there today looking at to order stuff because I'm going to start stocking up for the season. So I was already on there today looking at ordering a set of those. So, and then are you going to bring in the new Heath Riles glazes?
They arrived today, my man. They arrived today.
Wait till you try them, man. Wait till you try the apple cherry. Is unlike any apple cherry that you
are they really good? You're going to force me to open a bottle.
You got yeah. They're really good. I took the brown sugar honey last week and infused them in pancakes with pecans. So,
fuck.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to swear. I didn't mean to use the big F word on the.
Weez, if you're looking for stuff for Butcher Barbecue, one of the things that I'd highly recommend to get from them, not from a retailer to another one, the brass tongs.
Jeez, you'll help him out. He's got 400 What did he say? He had 100. He's got 100 left from an order that he placed like 6 years ago, and so
he thought it was going to be and I'm not mocking him, but he was just like, he thought it was going to be the best thing, and there were brass tongs.
14-inch brass tongs, and he thought, they thought he ordered 1,000 of them, and he's still got 100 left, and I can't remember what he said, like 5 or 6 years later, he's still got 100 left of them.
Who ordered those?
David from Butchers.
Yeah, David Butchers. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, he's got some great stuff. So
Jeff said Steve can't try him since he doesn't know how to cook. It's rough.
It's good to have him back.
Weez, what other places? Where can everybody check you out at? See what you're doing.
I got a Facebook page, Weez's Groovin Barbecue there. Check it out on Instagram, and then that's kind of it, man. I got a TikTok, but I don't really TikTok too much, man. So I just Facebook and Instagram. I'm starting to do some pop-ups and stuff like that. Obviously, I don't really have a catering menu because I can kind of just do whatever. It's basically as people order stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'll be doing a big pop-up coming up here on January 7th at Tighthead Brewing in Mundelein. We'll be doing brisket paninis, and then going to be doing a little some cornbread and some banana pudding. And then the Saturday after that, we're doing a big barbecue competition takeover at 301 Boys with Barbecue Mike. We're going to be doing smoked cream cheese. We're going to be doing some tacos and doing some chicken wings. So just kind of giving away free food and kind of hanging out and answering questions. So
awesome, good stuff.
Sweet. Is that the easiest way to get the Facebook? Is that the easiest way for catering jobs and stuff like that? Is that
Yep. Facebook. Yep, absolutely. So
perfect. Yeah, excellent. Weez, good to see you. Thanks for coming on, my friend.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate you guys, man.
Yeah. All right, Weez. Have a good one, brother.
All right, later, man. Bye.
One of the great, it was a short wave. It wasn't the goodbye wave that we normally do.
Right.
What a great barbecue ambassador for the Chicago area. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. And like he was saying, the barbecue family, he is true to form with barbecue family and the fact that he is willing to share knowledge. He is willing to help you out with just about everything. And that's, I would probably say 98% of the barbecue people that I've met. I don't know if I've truly met anybody that doesn't, but I'm sure there's some that aren't like that. But the majority of them, they're willing to help you out. They're willing to pass on their knowledge, because after all, it's Weez who's cooking that's actually going to make you the winner. It ain't the seasoning, it ain't the spicing, it's all that other stuff. He'll help you, but it's not going to be. It's his magic touch that does it. And I can't say enough. Even like I said, when he came to Wanamaker's. And he was shopping there all the time. He was a great promoter for it. He's a great promoter of small business, and I'm so glad that he's hooked up with Scott up there at 301 Boys, and they're rocking the show up there. I haven't been up there. It's kind of a long drive. I haven't been up there, but I do want to get up there at some point. Maybe I'll go to that thing for what day did he say that was? The 7th when he's having that, whatever it is.
I'm not going to quote it because I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, we'll have to watch the show to find out.
Yes, definitely. And as Jeff,
but I think
great show.
Thanks, Jeff. Show. Good to have you back, Jeff. I kind of ran free without you here. I was like all out of control. Ran free. I needed somebody to corral me in, cage me in. Yeah, maybe I'll do that because I know January 6th we got Barbecue Love Stop at Sweet Baby Ray's up in Wooddale. Yeah. And just so everybody knows, I know that we've gone to Sweet Baby Ray's a couple times, and I get it, I understand. But there's two places that are almost always for barbecue love, and that is going to be Sweet Baby Ray's is always going to be first, and Station 1 Barbecue is always going to be last because Sweet Baby Ray's was the very first stop on the week of barbecue love, a week of Wanamaker's barbecue love back in 2021, and so therefore every year after they have been the first stop just to kind of do that. And then Station 1 was the last stop of the very first year of the Barbecue Love Tour. So they will always be the final place. Plus, it's always around my birthday, and it's one of my favorite places to eat.
Where's it going to be?
Roy says he loves Sweet Baby Ray's.
Where's the last stop going to be at next year? Plainfield?
Well, it's going to be Station 1, but well, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens because maybe we'll get. Well, I hope we're going to get invited to the Friends and Family Night in Yorkville. Did they? Did they?
She say oof?
Huh?
What'd she say there?
No, she was doing a little New Orleans right there, and it was little Bourbon Street right here in the apartment, ladies and gentlemen, and so therefore, that's why I was a little distracted.
Yeah, good time. Just don't
Good
throw
time.
us
Just don't throw our beads. But yeah, so I know we can choose. I'm hoping they haven't opened Yorkville yet, have they? Is it?
Not yet. Still waiting. They did post that they are hiring now, so they've got to be close. Because I know he said he didn't want to hire anybody until he knew they were getting close, because he didn't want to just have people waiting in the wings and lose possible good people while they're waiting. But yeah, another great show. Guys, thanks for hanging out with us. Do we know next week yet?
No.
Wow. Keith, thanks for coming.
Gentlemen.
To the show.
Coming at the tail end of the show with a gentleman pulling a Ryan, showing up at the back end of the show.
Hey, I was at the middle of the show this week on Tuesday.
Middle of the show. It was a good show this Tuesday. If you haven't seen the show, besides the fact that my camera kept freezing up on me, which didn't really matter because then I couldn't talk. But Todd Conrad from Fireboard, those things are pretty darn cool. So that was a pretty good show that we had on Tuesday. And then this Tuesday coming up live from the barbecue department at Wanamakers, it'll be Meathead and I live together. We'll actually both be in the department at Wanamakers. So if you've never met Meathead and you have time at 11 o'clock and you have nothing to do, like Ryan's sitting in the bank, then you can come on over and you can come over and visit.
Wow. I don't just sit there.
Well, you're looking at football scores or something, or griddle battle pictures, or you're not just sitting there.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. You got a final spiel that you wanna do, or?
Oh, you always do the spiel, but guys, every Thursday.
Well, I
night,
mean, you usually have the last. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
The Thursday night barbecue chat, myself and Steve. It's always a pleasure to have you guys here. We appreciate you guys being here, because if it wasn't for you guys here, we wouldn't be doing it. Definitely not going to sit here and just talk to Steve all night long.
We'd still be doing it, but nobody would be watching. It's more fun to have interaction with people where they're asking questions or picking on you or just whatever just makes it happy. Yeah.
Go. What up?
What's up?
Yep.
It's time to go. Yo, it's time to go.
Is that our timer? Is that what that is? Yeah. Yes. 7
All right,
Next Thursday night barbecue chat. Appreciate you being here. Steve's going to take us out of the show with his 5-minute spiel.
And as always, everybody, it is the holiday season, so let's kind of be kind. Let's shop local. Let's shop small. Let's support small business where we can. And as always, please, please, please be kind and courteous to all those working in the retail industry or any service industry. For after all, it is busy and we have to put up with the public. And therefore, we need you to be kind and patient, because after all, it's just nice to be out and having fun. And once again, it's our differences that make us great. And after all, who would want to live in a society where we're all the same? I'd have a beard like Ryan. If we were all the same, we'd all have to have beards like Ryan.
Sorry, Steve talking again.
Jeff, it is so good to have you back.